directed by John Borman, and man, this was a bore. That final scene is a little too iconic to me, I fear. Who approved this movie? What other movies did you approve? Because I definitely need to check them out. You know, it's like Wolverine's last movie. Hi, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about everything that I watched in July. Real quick, I just want to announce, I guess, that I started adding timestamps to my videos. If you look down below, you can jump from, you know, the 1-star reviews I gave, 4-star reviews, 5 stars. If you only have time for like the 5 stars and you're just curious what the best movies I watched this last month were, you can just jump around. I also went back into a lot of older videos and just added timestamps there as well. So enjoy those if you would like to. Some stats from last month: I watched 19 films. It was definitely more of a reading month for me. I will say I didn't get to a lot of movies because I had a lot of reading challenges going on that I thoroughly enjoyed doing. And I think that this month I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on movies and films, so look out for that. Out of the 19 films I watched, we have 4 theater watches, 4 rewatches, and also 4 Marvel movies. Okay, just like I've been doing the last couple of months, I'm going to be talking about these in order of lowest to highest, right? So half star to 5 star. Starting with the half stars, we have 0. That's really good. I watched 0 half-star movies last month. We have 2 1-star movies, and they are a lot alike, okay, very similar. We have 50 Shades Darker from 2017, directed by James Foley. I still don't know if this is the second one or the third one. Hold on. Okay, it is indeed the second one. I watched and read the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy last month. Okay, so of course, like, these movies are part of the recap, okay? If you want to know my more in-depth thoughts on the movies, definitely check out that video, I would say, because I don't feel like getting into it right now. Like, they weren't that good. Obviously, it got a 1 star for the second one, okay? The one good thing about this one is that it does include Zayn and Taylor Swift's I Don't Want to Live Forever, which is such a great song, okay? I love that song. I hope to see it on the Reputation Taylor's version vaults, okay? Like, please, Taylor, put it in the vault. We need it. This second one, okay, the second one in the series is the worst out of the whole series. I hated this book so much, and the movie is cut and dry. Like, it's the same thing, okay? Literally nothing to write home about. This is the one that we find out what Christian Grey's dirtiest, darkest secret is, and it's disgusting. It's literally nasty, and I hate him so much. And this movie did him 0 favors. The next 1 star we have is the one directly after it, 50 Shades Free. This came out in 2018, and it was also directed by James Foley. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. It was like stupid, the same thing from the book. The book was really stupid, so like I don't know what I expected. It doesn't get any better. At the end, there's like a nice little movie montage, which I am always a fan of, okay? I love seeing things that fans can get excited for. And I can imagine, as someone who is like a fan of the books, read all the books, waited till midnight to get the books, went to the midnight releases of the movies, you know, like went with groups of friends, to see that last movie and watch the movie montage, I imagine that that was really fun for them. So I did like that about it. However, like I said, if you want my real in-depth thoughts on this story in general, that will be down below because I can't get into it right now. That's 50 Shades Freed. Okay, getting into the 1.5 stars. The first one we have is 50 Shades of Grey. I'm gonna get through this so quickly, don't worry. Okay, this came out in 2015. It is directed by Sam Taylor Johnson. My biggest problem with this movie, which kept going into all the other movies, like, don't get me wrong, but it's when I found out that we weren't going to get this in this movie, was the subject of male nudity. Like, it's not that I was banking on it, okay, but the fact that our girly Miss Dakota Johnson showed everything, okay? She went full nude for this movie, I would say, like pretty full nude, okay? She was comfortable, okay? She was there to bear, and our male lead, like, we really couldn't get an actor who was like more willing to actually be Christian Grey, like, in all that that entails. Yeah, you can laugh at me if you want, but I thought it was really silly to have our lead female be, you know, she had to show nudity. Like, she had to. That was in her contract. Like, I'm sure because she's Anastasia, like, she's our leading lady, and like the content and the context of what's in this story, like, you would think nudity would be shown, but then we get a male lead who made it very clear in his contract that he was doing no nudity whatsoever. So it's like, double standards, hello, I hated it, okay? The next 1.5 star we have is Point Blank from 1967, directed by John Borman, and man, this was a bore. Literally, like, honestly, the most boring crime noir movie I've ever seen in my life. The execution was incredibly snooze-worthy. It felt like I was walking through molasses trying to get through this movie. It was not fun. I gave it 1.5 star. Like, I literally, no notes, it was bad. We have 0 2-star movies, and then right after that we have 0 2.5 star movies. Getting into the 3-star movies, I watched Jawbreaker from 1999. This is directed by Darren Stein. I really wish that I had seen this back in the early 2000s with everyone else who was growing up around that time. I think that this would have been a lot more iconic if I had seen it at that age. Instead, watching it in 2024, I can see the iconicity of it, okay? However, I just like wasn't feeling it. I'm sure that has to do a lot with nostalgia. A lot of people really like this movie for the nostalgia factor, and since I have absolutely no history with it and it was a first time watch, it was great. It was fine, you know, very 3 stars. Maybe if I watched it again, it could become more beloved, but as for this first watch, it was very 3 stars. It's one of those basic late 90s, early 2000s girly girl kind of movie where there's, you know, the mean girls, there's a lot of catty dialogue. It's honestly like a more adult than I was thinking it would be. I'm sure it's PG-13, maybe it's rated R. I don't remember. I think there is a lot of language in it, so it might be rated R. But, you know, it's just one of those catty, witty humor dialogue movies where there's the mean girls and then there's the girl who becomes a victim of the mean girls. And it's fun. Like, the color scheme is there. Rose McGowan is really nice. It was very fine. 3 stars is a good movie, okay? Don't forget that. Next 3-star I watched was Deadpool from 2016. This is directed by Tim Miller. I thought Sean Levy directed all of these. Like, who led me to believe that Sean Levy directed all of these? I thought that it had been, like, all of the Deadpool movies were a Ryan Reynolds, Sean Levy collaboration. I thought that's how it had always been, but I guess not. I love the meta humor. Like, how could I hate that? That's always gonna hit for me. I love it. I already knew that this wasn't gonna be a bad movie just for the fact that it had the meta-ness of it. I think overall, this movie was a little meh for like watching it for the first time in 2024. I'm sure it hit differently back in the day, especially after seeing all of those Marvel movies and then suddenly having this Marvel movie, which is kind of a change from the typical standard that Marvel movies had at that time. So I'm sure that, you know, I get the hype behind it and I get why fans really like it. But to watch it for the first time in 2024, I don't know, it, like I said, was a little meh. I did like the love story aspect of it, which leads into the next movie that I watched that was 3 stars, which was Deadpool 2. This came out in 2018. It was directed by David Leitch. And I could not believe that they did that to the love story. Like, literally shocked me with the turn of events that happened between our 2 main people, okay? Like, the 2 people in the relationship. I could, like, no spoilers, but yeah, I didn't know that they were gonna do that, and I was a little upset. I was like, the love story was kind of the one thing I really liked, so yeah, that was crazy. And don't get me wrong, the way that the movie progresses around the love story after the beginning part of the second movie, I definitely really liked it. I love love, okay? And I think that this movie is really good at showing love, like, actually, you know, like, if you think about, I don't know, I'm trying to think about another superhero movie where the hero and the love interests, like, are actually together. Like, I'm trying to think, like, Captain America and Peggy, but they're never actually together. And then I thought, like, Doctor Strange and Rachel McAdams, but they don't end up together either. So I don't know, maybe that is pretty unique for Deadpool, that they're the love interest of the movie, like, they are together, you know what I mean? And then they still, like, try to be together and stay together. So that's actually, I didn't think about that. That actually makes me think of Deadpool a little bit better, because I like the love story aspect, as I kept saying. I understand, you know, there are a lot of, like, gags and, like, fun stuff for the fans. It's a lot of fan service, and I love fan service. I really love when creators care and love their fans back, right? Like, that always will mean something to me, and for them to, like, give into fan service, I can't, like, I don't hate it. I really don't. I thought that the gags were funny. A lot of the dialogue is great. So, you know, 3 stars is a good movie. Both the Deadpool movies got 3 stars from me. Next, we have 3.5 stars. I watched Maxine from 2024 from T West. This was is it T West or Ty West? Wait, I don't know. This was a theater watch, of course. I love this trilogy. I need to own it ASAP. I really need to rewatch X and Pearl as well. I still have only seen those one time, and they are a little bit better than Maxine, and that makes me like way more excited to rewatch them in the future. Maxine was definitely good though, don't get me wrong. I just think that the other two in the trilogy were better. I love Mia Goth, and I felt like her contribution to the production was very evident and has been evident in all three of these movies. Like, her ability to mold and change a character is really astounding. She really is a great actress, and I think that these movies will really prove that she is not someone to forget about or underestimate at all. Yeah, I really love Mia Goth's craft. Like I said, this is probably the worst out of the trilogy, but like, I get it, right? Like, I get the inspirations that he was coming from, and I get where he was going with the whole like 1980s slasher remake of a film. So like, some of it, when it has the elements that don't necessarily make an 80s slasher the best kind of movie, like, I still get it, okay? Like, I got it. Next 3.5 star we have is Pretty Poison. This is from 1968 from Noel Black. I low-key love this, and I could totally see myself giving it a higher rating upon a rewatch. So it's about this guy who is out on parole, and he meets this like really seemingly innocent girl, but she's not as innocent as she seems, right? And they both just kind of the whole movie try to match each other's freak, if I'm being honest. It was a lot of fun. It stars Anthony Perkins, and he's so freaking cute in this movie. He's so adorable in this movie. He keeps doing this bit where he's like, I've got to go, and then he like runs away really fast, like really briskly running away, but he's got these long ass daddy long legs, and he's just like, bye, and he just runs off, and it's so funny. Like, it happens so many times in the movie, and I just was dying every time. Like, he does such a good job in this movie. I really enjoyed his performance. Next we have a rewatch, which was Logan from 2017. This is directed by James Mangold. I actually own the noir version of this, and that is the medium in which I watched it. Is that the right word? Medium? I don't know. But I watched it in black and white, and I fear I will never watch it in color again. It really hit differently in the black and white. I totally recommend you seek that out if you're a fan of this movie. It's a really good movie, of course. You know, it's like Wolverine's last movie. Really good acting, really good characterization, good action as well, but the black and white, like I said, just chef's kiss. Ooh, next I saw Twisters from 2024. This is directed by Lee Isaac Chung. This was another theater watch. I actually watched this in IMAX. It went really hard in IMAX. I can't imagine the people who went to go see it in 4DX. That must have been crazy to see it in 4DX. Oh my god. I definitely think that this was the most thrilling movie I've seen this year. It's very fun. It's a good family movie, honestly. Like, if I had children, I would definitely let them watch this. It's really fun. It's got a great cast. The scenes where the tornadoes are like really ramped up and like our people are in peril, I was so tense. Like, I get that I saw it in IMAX, so that just totally is a different experience, but seriously, like, I had to like find myself unclenching after scenes because I was so tense for them. Like, I literally felt like I was going through the tornado with them, and just, I mean, like I said, the acting is spectacular, absolutely insane. It's really thrilling. It's a great movie, great family movie. Like I said, I would recommend it to anyone, honestly. Okay, yes, what you all have been waiting for. I watched Deadpool and Wolverine from 2024, directed by Mr. Sean Levy. I really need that final scene embedded into my eyeballs for personal reasons only. Yeah, I really liked the end of the movie. It was superb, actually. Matthew McFadden was the best part of this movie. He ate up everyone else's performance, and that's not saying that anybody did bad. And the thing is that everyone brought their A game to set every single day. You can tell, but Matthew McFadden still ate them up, which is crazy. He stole that show for me. I really liked the fight in the car scene, and I did like the opening credits a lot. I think it was a lot more fun than the last two, and like I said, I love fan service, and this movie was full of it, and it was really fun to be in that crowd opening night and like see everyone be so excited for all the cameos and everything. Like, I will never take that away from Marvel. They really have cultivated such a fun, loving audience. And like, even though some of them are a little too intense for me, I do think that it is fun to be in that environment on opening night, because just, I love fans. I love being a fan of things, and I love seeing fans in their element. And this movie was a great place to service those fans. Okay, y'all, we are in the 4 stars now. The first 4-star movie I watched was Irma la Douce from 1963, directed by Billy Wilder. I love this. Okay, this is another Shirley MacLaine x Jack Lemmon x Billy Wilder collab. They previously worked together on The Apartment from 1960, which is very beloved and very well loved. And I would definitely say if you like The Apartment, you have to watch Irma la Douce. It is so fun. It's the same kind of premise, honestly, of The Apartment, where a man falls in love with the lady of the night, which kind of is one of my favorite tropes, like one of my favorite storylines. Definitely, that will always hit for me. Next 4-star I have is Postcards from the Edge. This is from 1990, directed by Mike Nichols. This is another Shirley MacLaine movie. She plays the mother of Meryl Streep, and they're both actresses who have bad addictions. Really, truly, such a good movie. It's a very feel-good movie, okay? Like, you know, your character goes through a lot of trials and tribulations and then comes out better in the end. So it, like I said, it's a good feel-good movie. Carrie Fisher actually wrote it. She said that it reflected her own personal life, which is really interesting given the context and everything. Meryl Streep has a musical number at the end of this movie, and it's actually the most insane thing I've ever heard anyone sing. It's beautiful. I was like, where's her singing career? Where, like, I get she was in Mamma Mia, but where are the other offers? Because you just need to see this one performance at the end of Postcards from the Edge, and oh my god, she's really good. And they both, Shirley MacLaine and Meryl Streep, do a phenomenal job. I really enjoyed the acting in this movie 100%. Okay, I have one 4.5-star movie. It was Cure from 1997. This is directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. This movie is mesmerizing, if you know what I'm saying. I rewatched this instead of going to see Longlegs in theaters again. I still need to rewatch Longlegs in theaters, like, don't get me wrong, but I decided to rewatch this one instead one day. That final scene is a little too iconic to me, I fear. Some of the most gruesome shots I've ever seen in a movie are in this movie. They're very quick on the screen. Like, it's really, you have to be paying attention to the movie to be able to catch them. Some of the most haunting imagery you'll ever see in your life. And the story is really good. It's just a really good spider web. I really enjoyed the beginning when they're trying to figure out like what the heck's going on. And then it's kind of like a chase from there to get the bad guy. And yeah, I just like it. Like I said, it's a really good spider web of a story. Okay, y'all, the final 3. Yes, we've got the final 3 movies. These are my 5-star movies. I had 3 5-star movies last month. That's great. The first one was, of course, Longlegs from 2024, directed by Osgood Perkins. Love you, boo. Immediately, this movie became my second favorite movie of 2024, right behind Challengers. Everyone in this movie is at the top of their game. Like, holy cast, Batman. They really acted their freaking hearts out, and this is a really good movie. Like, if you just want to see a good horror movie for just the acting alone, like, goodness gracious, you have to go see this movie. When does Micah Monroe not eat up her roles? Honestly, she is such a good actress. I love seeing her in movies. Nicolas Cage, of course, is great. Just literally everyone, her mother, they all really killed this movie. I really loved it. Like I said, I need to go see it again ASAP. Hopefully this month I'll be able to go see it again. I'm really excited to rewatch it. The next 5-star we have was a rewatch of Leave Her to Heaven from 1945. This was directed by John M. Stow. I love this movie. I don't care. Ellen is so extra, and she will do anything to get her way. And her way literally only consists of her husband's undevoted attention. This was a recent Criterion purchase, and I don't regret it at all. I really like this movie. Like I said, she's very self-centered. She very much will do anything to get her way, and she does a lot of crazy things in this movie. I can't believe it came out in 1945. Like, I feel like that subject matter is a little crazy for any movie that came out after the code in 1933, right? Can't believe they got away with this. Who approved this movie? What other movies did you approve? Because I definitely need to check them out. I said 3. I said I have 3 5-star movies, but I have 4. Oh my gosh. Because next we have A Raisin in the Sun from 1961, directed by Daniel Petrie. I'm 70% sure I watched this in college. If I didn't watch it in college, I only watched a scene in college, but it was incredibly familiar to me. I'm pretty sure I watched it before. I loved reading this play. I read it in college, and I had never been so impacted by a play before. Like finally, for the first time ever, a play was more than just words on a page or actors in a scene or parts in a play. It made me think about plays differently when I read it. Watching this like really made me want to reread it as well. Maybe I think I'll add it to my August TBR, honestly, because I feel like reading a play, and A Raisin in the Sun would be a really great one to reread because, like I said, I really loved it. It really impacted me. It was just finally a play that was more than just words on a page. The final movie I watched last month on the last day of the month was a 5-star rewatch of The Princess Diaries from 2001. This is directed by Gary Marshall. I love this movie so much. I love Anne Hathaway. I have looked up to her since basically in 2001. It's got such good messaging, you know, like how to deal with jealousy amongst your friends, how to be supportive of people, how to stand up for yourself, how to stand up for what's right, how to forgive. It just has a lot of really good lessons in it, and the acting is insane. I love Julie Andrews. I love Anne Hathaway. The characters are iconic and so memorable. It has great lines, great dialogue. I think this movie was also a really great reset for me. Have you ever gone to like a beloved classic movie that's just like classic to you? Okay, not necessarily a classic in like the general term, just it's classic to you, and when you watch it, it just kind of resets your life a little bit. Like it gets you out of a funk. I think that that's what this rewatch of this movie did for me personally. I watched it and I was just like, I felt refreshed. I felt like I had been doing a lot of work, and it was a great movie to just like remember why I love watching movies and like why I love talking about movies and doing stuff like this. And yeah, so I was really grateful to watch that at the end of the month. And you guys, that's it. Those are all the movies that I watched last month. Like I said, it was a short month. I mean, like a short month in like terms of movie watching. I didn't watch as much as I would have liked to, and it was definitely a slow theater visiting month as well. I would really like for August to at least double that, like 4 movies. That's not a lot in theaters, especially for how much comes out on a regular basis. But already there are so many movies out in theaters. I literally have tickets to go see Trap tonight, and I'm so excited for that. Oh my gosh. Do you have tickets to go see Trap? I would love to hear your opinions on it if you've seen it. Yeah, I'm really excited to find out what happens in it. The trailer has been really intriguing me, and I love M. Night Shyamalan. I love his movies ever since I was a kid. He was like the first horror director I ever was obsessed with, and yeah, I'm really excited to see it. Okay, what movies did you see last month that you really liked? What was your favorite movie that you watched in theaters? Did you like Deadpool and Wolverine? I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll catch you in my next one, and I love you so much. I love your support. I love that you watch my movies and you subscribe to my channel. So yeah, thank you so much as always, and I will see you in my next one.